ورسوله إمام الموحدين والهادي إلى صراط مستقيم. أما بعد فأوصي نفسي وإياكم بتقوى الله جل وعلا. اتقوا الله حق تقوى وراقبوه في السر والعلن والنجوى. إذا أنت لم ترحل بزاد من التقى ولا لقيت بعد الموت من قد تزود، ندمت على ألا تكون كمثله وأنك لم ترصد بما كان أرصده. اللهم اجعلنا من المتقين. يقول الله عز وجل في المحكم كتابه: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. My dear respected brothers, I pray may Allah Jalla wa Ala continue to increase us in Iman and Ikhlas. And I also pray that Allah Jalla wa Ala allow us to witness the blessed month of Ramadan. And if that is the case, I also pray that Allah make us among those that He will emancipate from Jahannam in the holy month of Ramadan. We are sitting down here for no other reason but to learn our religion. There are so many places that you and I can go right now, but we prefer to sit down in the house of Allah Jalla wa Ala to remind one another about this beautiful religion. As long as we are here, bi-iznillah, we are in ibadah. And this is the best place that we can be, the house of Allah Jalla wa Ala. My respected brothers, as Ramadan is at the corner and it's so quick, wallahi, from the last Ramadan to now, it's so quick, it's like a flash. This shows that we are getting closer to our grave. وَمَا الْمَرْهُ إِلَّا كَالْهِلَالِ وَدَوْئِهِ يُوَافِ تَمَامَ الشَّهْرِ ثُمَّ يَغِيبُ. Mankind is just like the moon. It will come and serve for 29 or 30 days and it disappears. Wallah, one day we're gonna disappear. In the next 50 years, almost all of us here will not be in this dunya. We will be in Barzakh. May Allah Jalla wa Ala grant us husnul khatimah. Tonight, inshallah, we will start with Kitab al-Siyam, the book of fasting. As-Siyam is masdar. Soma yasumu siyaman aw sawman. What is masdar in English? The root of origin. You say that because the root word of siyam is soma. Yasumu siyaman is masdar. تعريف الصيام وبيان أركانها. The definition of fasting, and also to mention and explain its pillars. What is the difference between a ruknu and a shart? Yes.
Shart has to be present before the action, and rukn is within the action.
Shart, which is a condition, according to the fuqaha, is before the action. The ruknu, which is the pillar, is in the action. So this is the difference between a shart and a ruknu. But you have to meet both of them, to do both of them before your ibadah is accepted. Otherwise, your ibadah will not be accepted. In fact, if you don't meet the shuhud, you should not go to the arkan, because your ibadah will be batila. It will be void. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us. Ta'rifuhu, and according to the fuqaha, when they define in any term, they will define it in two ways: lughatan wa istilahan, literally and Islamically. So ta'rifuhu as-siyamu fil lughati al-imsaku an shay'in. So as-siyam, literally it means is abstainment from something. That's why Allah says in the Quran about Maryam, Inni nadartu lir-Rahmani sawman wa lan ukallima al-yawma insiya. Maryam alayhi salam was fasting from talking. He said, I have taken oath to the most merciful that today I will not talk to no humankind. So she was fasting from talking, literally. If you take an oath that you're going to sit down, you're not going to stand up, that you are fasting from standing up. This is the literal meaning of as-siyam. What is shari, and the legislative meaning, in the legislative meaning, it means al-imsaku anil akli wa shurbi wa sa'il al-muftirati ma'a niyati min tulu' al-fajr as-sadiqi ila ghurub ash-shams. It's an abstainment from eating. So when you're fasting, you're not allowed to eat. Washurbi, and drinking. Wasa'il al-muftirat, and all the things that will invalidate your fasting. Ma'an niyya, with intention. Min tulu' al-fajr as-sadiqi, from the breaking of the true dawn, because there are two mu'adhin during Ramadan at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Bilal radiallahu anhu, he used to give adhan, but it's in the Fajr Kadhib, meaning the Fajr hasn't entered yet. And the Prophet used to tell them that if you hear the adhan of Bilal radiallahu anhu, eat and drink. But if you hear the adhan of what is the name of Ibrahim? Ibn Maktoum, you should stop eating, because that is the Fajr Sadiq. So you should stop from the breaking of dawn to ila ghurub ash-shamsi, till sunset. So meaning you should abstain from eating and drinking. But the question is, if I'm fasting and I forgot that I am fasting and I drink or eat, is my fasting valid or not? It is not valid. It is valid. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, whoever forgets, eat and drink, let him continue his fast. It is Allah that has fed him and given him something to drink. But if you eat muta'ammidan, intentionally, or you drink muta'ammidan wa anta sa'im, and you are fasting, your fasting will be invalidated. And you should abstain from everything that will invalidate your fast. Namely, any other thing that will invalidate your fast. Riba wa namima will not actually invalidate your fast. However, it will reduce your reward. Can it invalidate your fast? No, because the Prophet said, "Man lam yada qawla zuri wa amala bihi, falaysa lillahi hajatun fi an tada'a an yada'a ta'amahu wa sharab." The Prophet said, whoever doesn't abstain from giving false testimony, meaning it means also riba and namima. Allah will not have no need for him leaving his food and his drink. Does it mean that it will invalidate your fasting? I don't think so. Al-ilmu inda Allah. Hijama, that's the Madhab al-Hanbali. They said that hijama will invalidate your fast. But al-qawlu rajih wal-ilmu inda Allah, it will not invalidate your fast. It will not invalidate your fast. According to Al-Uthaymin, rahmatullahi alayhi, in insha'uhu zadi ala, in insha'uhu mumte ala zadi al-mustaqni, it doesn't invalidate your fast. The reason is saddu dhari'ah, because perhaps when you are taking the blood will enter the jawf. And the reason why the person that is doing the hijama on, he said that it will invalidate your fast because it will make you very weak. It will make you very weak, but it doesn't invalidate your fast. Any other thing? Al-jima, intercourse with your wife will invalidate your fasting. If it can invalidate your fasting when you're having intercourse with your wife, if you're committing zina min babi awla. Because I don't want people to play with the Sharia. Oh, the Sheik said, as long as you don't do it with your wife, your fasting is allowed. If it's not allowed with your wife, how can it be allowed with your girlfriend? Wa mas'ala. Say I am traveling, a distance that I'm allowed to shorten my salah. I'm coming from Africa, and I came to England. I was traveling and it was fast, and I decided not to fast. And I came, my wife was in her haid. She became clean from her haid in the muntasaf in Nahari Ramadan, in the middle of Ramadan. Am I allowed to have intercourse with her or not?
Yes. They say حرمة الشهر يجب الإمساك. يجب الإمساك لحرمة الشهر.
يجب الإمساك لحرمة الشهر. وإنه مسعود, you reject that. You are allowed to have intercourse with your wife, because as long as your wife has washed al-ghusl, even if both of you are traveling, you are allowed to have intercourse. You are allowed. The preferred view is that you are allowed to have intercourse. Some of them said that you should abstain from that, from even eating if you are a woman, because of the sacredness of the month. But the Qawlu Rajih, al-ilmu inda Allah, you are allowed jaiz. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us. You should do that ma'an niyya. وَمَنْ يُبَيِّتِ الصِّيَامِ قَبْلَ الْفَجْرِ فَلَا صَوْمَ لَهُ أو كما فَلَا صِيَامَ لَهُ أو كما قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. If you don't do your intention, you don't make your intention before Fajr, then there will be no fasting for you.
Sheikh, you can do it the whole month.
We are coming there. How can you do intention in Ramadan? You can either do it every night before Fajr, or you can do it one intention for the whole month. Choose the easiest one. One intention that you are fasting in the month of Ramadan for the sake of Allah Jalla wa Ala in the whole month of Ramadan. But there is a question. Say now, I made an intention, and in the middle of Ramadan I become sick. What will happen? تجديد فعليك أن تجدد نيتك. You have to renew your intention if you are a woman, because most women, they will not complete the fasting because of the height. or even the nifas. When you stop, when you want to restart again, then you have to make another new intention. If you are somebody that have a good memory, then you can make intention every night before Fajr. The niyyah is before Fajr, even 1 minute before Fajr. As long as the Fajr Sadiq hasn't entered, then you can do your intention. But do one intention for the rest of the month. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us and protect us. What is the meaning of intention? Lughatan. It means al-qasdu, to intend. And intention تميز بين العبادات والعادات. It will distinguish between what is customary and what is an act of ibadah. That's why intention is very, very important. وتميز بين العبادات بعدها عن بعد. And also it will distinguish between the various forms of act of worship. Somebody might abstain from eating and drinking, but his intention is to lose weight. Somebody might intend to fast, but his fasting is to please Allah Jalla wa Ala as an ibadah. And if you don't make intention between the salah, then there will be issue. What salat are you praying? Allah knows what you're going to intend before you intend. But إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِنِيَّاتٍ وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى. So we have to intend. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us. So من طلوع الفجر الصادق إلى غروب الشمس. You going? So from the break of dawn to sunset. أركانه من خلال تعريف الصيام في اصطلاح يتضح أن له ركنين أساسيين هما. And according to the ta'rif, the definition, the Islamic definition of fasting, it is clear that there are two pillars of fasting. We have to meet these two pillars. Otherwise, our fasting will not be accepted. الأول الإمساك عن المفطرات من طلوع الفجر إلى غروب الشمس. The first one is the abstainment from anything that invalidates the fast, whether it is drinking, muta'ammidan or amdan, you drink intentionally or you eat, you have intercourse with your wife, you should abstain from that from the breaking of dawn to sunset. That is number one. وَدَلِيلُ هَذَا الرُّكْنِ. And the evidence for this pillar, قوله تعالى فَالْآنَ بَاشِرُهُنَّ وَابْتَغُوا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ ثُمَّ أَتِمُّوا الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. Allah Jalla wa Ala, He knew that the Sahabas were cheating, because before this ayah, when you sleep and you wake up, you sleep and you wake up, you should continue your fast. Until one of the Sahaba, he was so hungry that his wife went to wake him up and he was still asleep, and he decided to continue fasting and he became unconscious. And it was very difficult for them not to have intercourse with their wives. So Allah Jalla wa Ala, He says, فَالْآنَ بَاشِرُهُنَّ. He said, now you can have relations with them. وَابْتَغُوا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. And seek what Allah has ordained for you. Seek what Allah has ordained for you. Marriage is what we should do, and we have relations with our wife, then bi-iznillahi Jalla wa Ala, Allah will bless us with children. Allah will bless us with children. And Allah Jalla wa Ala, He says, وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. And one of the Sahaba, when this ayah was revealed, he took a white thread and a black thread, he put it under the pillow, and he was watching it. So, and still, people are doing it in Africa. They will eat suhoor. They say, the white thread and the black thread, I cannot distinguish between them, so I'm going to continue. But that is not the intention that Allah Jalla wa Ala revealed, that the intention behind this. That is not the intention behind that. Allah says, and eat and drink. No, eat. Yes, eat and drink until the white thread of dawn becomes distinct to you from the black thread of the night. So meaning from dawn to sunset. ثُمَّ أَتِمُّ الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. Then you complete the fasting till the night, till Maghrib. وَالْمُرَادُ بِالْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ وَالْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ بَيَادُ النَّهَارِ وَسُوَادُ اللَّيْلِ. The meaning, the intended meaning for the white thread and the black thread, the white thread is the clearness of the day and the darkness of the night. The darkness of the night. The first ruknu is that. The second ruknu is an-niyya, the intention. بأن يقصد الصائم بهذا الإمساك عن المفترات عبادة الله عز وجل. And the fasting person should intend that he is abstaining from all this eating and drinking and intercourse as an act of worship to Allah Jalla wa Ala. Meaning, you should be sincere. Otherwise, your fasting will not be accepted. And just what I said before, فَبِالنِّيَّةِ تَتَمَيَّزُ الْأَعْمَالُ الْمَقْصُودَةُ لِلْعِبَادَةِ عَنْ غَيْرِهَا مِنَ الْأَعْمَالِ وَبِالنِّيَّةِ تتميز العبادات بعضها عن بعض فيقصد الصائم بهذا الصيام إما صيام رمضان أو غيره من أنواع الصيام. The person should intend whether it's the fasting of Ramadan or any other fasting other than Ramadan. Is there any other fasting other than Ramadan? Yeah, that is wajib. That is wajib, that is compulsory. Number one is what? The nazar, the kafarat. Like, okay, the nazar. When you take an oath that you're not going to do certain thing and you say, Wallahi, billahi to Allah, or you say, Wallahi, that you have break your oath, then what you have to do? You have to do kafara, and that fasting is wajib. So you should intend before Fajr. Any other fasting that is not obligatory, or not any other fasting that is compulsory, the kafarat with the help. When you say your wife has become the back of your mother, I've taken you as my mother, then you have to do a fasting and expiation. And any other fasting that is compulsory, when you kill unintentionally by mistake, this also you should do a fasting that is wajib. Anything else? Al-Hajj also, if you shave your head. And also, if you have intercourse in Ramadan, in the morning or afternoon of Ramadan, before you break fast, you should also do a fasting that is obligatory as a kafar. If you're doing any of this fasting, you have to make your intention before the morning because it's wajib. What about fasting that is voluntary fasting? Do you have to do the intention before Fajr or not? You don't have to do that. You can do the intention before the afternoon prayer. Because the Prophet ﷺ, when he went to Aisha radiallahu anha, he asked her, is there anything to eat? And she said, no, He said, Idan ana sa'im. Then I am fasting. Because that was a voluntary fast. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us and protect us. Yes. Huh? As long as I know,
Before you eat.
before do prayer. That's what I know. Is there any other view?
I've never had it.
The question, brother, I'm gonna find you. You're not in the class. You're not in the class. I'm talking about the intention. Any fast that is obligatory, you have to intend before Fajr. Any fast that is voluntary fast, you can do your intention before the Dhuhr prayer. As far as I know. Al-ilmu indallah, we can do bahs in that, inshallah. I don't want to see something that I don't know. لا أعلم نصف العلم والله أعلم نصف العلم. I will never sit here and be shy to say I don't know. Yeah, I will never be shy to do that. Imam Malik, somebody traveled all the way, I think from Morocco, isn't it? From Egypt, and he went to ask him 40 questions, isn't it? How many answers was he able to
He gave
have?
me
4.
36.
36, and he said, yes, I don't know. And he said, how can I come all this way to you? What should I tell my people? Go and tell them that Imam Malik says, I don't know. So don't be shy, okay? If you don't know, you don't know. Okay. And also, I like when I'm teaching, I have strong student of knowledge, or a sheikh when I'm teaching, because I can make mistake. And we are on social media. Some people, they will think that you are ma'soom min azala. You are infallible from mistake. Whatever you say, they'll say, oh, they will capitalize on your mistake. But when you are here, Allah, if I make a mistake, don't be shy to correct it. But just do it with adab. Yeah? Even question. If you know a question, but you want other people to benefit, then you can ask. But if you want to ask to belittle the sheikh, then you are committing a sin. Some people will do that. Due to hazard, they will come jealousy. But today, I'm going to bring him down. But you will only bring somebody down that is not honest and sincere. Because for me, I will say, you know what I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. ودليل هذا الحكم قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى. The second evidence, the second pillar, which is niyyah, the evidence for that is إنما الأعمال بالنيات. Every action is with its intention, and every person will be rewarded according to his intention. If you intend to please Allah, Allah Jalla wa Ala will reward you. If your intention is to please Allah and somebody else, Allah Jalla wa Ala will not reward you. In fact, that is shirk. Shirk will ask that, the minor shirk, because you are showing off. If your intention is to please anyone other than Allah, Allah Jalla wa Ala doesn't need it. Inna Allah tayyibun la yaqbalu illa tayyiba. Allah is clean. Allah is pure. Allah doesn't accept anything that is impure. Shirk is impure. Innamal mushrikuna najas. The mushrik, they are filth. You understand what I mean? So you have to have a good intention. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us. حكم صيام رمضان ودليل ذلك. The ruling of fasting in the month of Ramadan and its evidence. فرض الله عز وجل صيام شهر رمضان وجعله أحد أركان الإسلام الخمسة. Allah has made fasting in the month of Ramadan obligatory, and Allah has made it one of the 5 pillars of Islam. What are the 5 pillars of Islam? Like the young ones, the 5 pillars of Islam. Zakat is one. Let's do it with tartib. Let's do it in sequence. The first one is what? A shahada, to testify, the testimony. What is a shahada? What is a shahada? Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. To testify that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. And nafi wal ithbat, negation and affirmation. La ilaha illallah. They said an-nakiratu ala siyaq an-naf yufidu al-umum. La ilaha illallah. So la is nafi, illallah is ithbat. So there is no God that is worthy of worship. There is no God that is worthy of worship except Allah. You don't say there is no God but Allah, because there are other gods, but they are not worthy of worship. They are not worthy of worship. Then the second pillar is bitalti. Iqamat is salah, to establish the prayer. The Prophet didn't say to pray, to establish the salah. And the third one, most of the muhaddisin, they put zakat before siyam, even the fuqaha thing. Then zakat, then saum, then after that is hajj. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us and protect us. And the evidence for that is Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Or you believe fasting has been prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those who came before you, so that you may gain God consciousness. This is one of the reasons why we are fasting. And kutiba, it means furida. It has been made obligatory upon you, as it was made obligatory to those who came before you. The scholars, they said that we were given similar days to fast, 1 month. And one of the priests, when he was sick, he said that he's going to do kafara. If Allah grants him health, he will have another 10 days. He became 40, became sick again, he had another 10 days, he became 50. And they said that the Nasara, they used to change the month. If fasting fall in summer, they will change it to winter, and they will do kafara by adding additional days. But if they can fast, we also can fast. If other people can do it, you can do it. This is what they say again, isn't it? If someone can do it, you can do it. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may gain God consciousness. At-taqwa is very, very important. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may gain God consciousness. May Allah make us among those that are God conscious, Ya Rabbal Alameen. What is at-taqwa? What is at-taqwa? The fear of to fear Allah.
To make between you and
To put a boundary between you and everything that Allah has made forbidden. To put between you and everything that Allah Jalla wa Ala has forbidden. That is at-taqwa. And Ali radiallahu anhu, he defined at-taqwa, he said, at-taqwa hiya al-khawfu min al-jalil, wal-amalu bil-tanzil, wal-qana'atu bil-qalil, wa-isti'dadu li-yawmi rahim. Beautiful definition. He said at-taqwa is to fear Allah the sublime, and to walk in accordance to the teaching of the Quran, and to have contentment. You should be content with whatever Allah has given you, وَالِاسْتِعْدَادُ لِيَوْمِ رَحِيمٍ, and to prepare for the day of departure. And as Sheik said, خَلِّ الذُّنُوبَ صَغِيرَهَا وَكَبِيرَهَا ذَاكَ التُّقَى وَاصْنَعْ كماشي فوق أرض الشوك يحذر ما يرى لا تحقرن صغيرة إن الجبال من الحصى. He said taqwa is to abstain from the minor and major sins. This is a taqwa. And you should act like somebody that walks on the earth full of thorns, and you are very, very, very placing your feet. Don't belittle action, any small action, because the mountain is made up of rocks. That's why the scholars, they said, لا صغيرة مع الإصرار ولا الكبيرة مع الاستغفار. So, minor sins, you should avoid them, because when it builds up, it will become major sins. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us. And Sheik also said, he said, إذا أنت لم ترحل بزاد من التقى ولاقيت بعد الموت من قد تزود ندمت على ألا تكون كمثله وأنك لم ترشد بما كان أرصدا. Sheik said, if you don't take God consciousness as your provision, and when you die, you meet those that have taken God consciousness as their provision, you will regret. Why didn't you be like them? And you don't hunt for a taqwa like they hunted for taqwa. So a taqwa is very, very important. That's why we are fasting in the blessed month of Ramadan. وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ تَقْوَى. And take provision. The best provision that you can take from this dunya is a taqwa. إِنَّ الْمُتَّقِينَ فِي جَنَّاتٍ وَنَهَرٍ فِي مَقْعَدِ صِدْقٍ عِنْدَ مَلِيكٍ مُقْتَدِرٍ إِنَّ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ مَفَازًا. There are so many beautiful ayahs that talks about the importance, the significance of a taqwa. May Allah make us amongst the muttaqin ya Rabbal Alameen. And he says also, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم. The month of Ramadan in which the Quran was revealed. How many stages? How many stages that the Quran? How many stages the Quran was revealed? Stages. The first stage it was revealed, and then the second stage it was revealed.
The first stage.
Is he the revealed? Should I use the word revealed?
Yeah.
Yeah, revealed.
You could say it was revealed to the Sama.
He was revealed to the Sama. The Sama, there is a name that it was revealed to Sama Dunya. It was revealed to the heavens. Daf'atan wahida, as a whole book from the Lawhul Mahfuz to them. And then it was revealed munajjiman. Is it munajjiman? It was revealed slowly and slowly to the Prophet for how many years? 23 years. 23 years, isn't it? Is it 23 years? MashaAllah. So, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن, the month of Ramadan in which the Quran was revealed. This also makes Ramadan so special, because it is the month of the Quran. That's why Al-Shairi said, I like Abiyah too much. Al-Shairi said, يا ذا الذي ما كفاه الذنب في رجب حتى عصى ربه في شهر شعبان لقد أظلك شهر الصوم بعدهما فلا تسيره أيضا شهر إسيان واتل القرآن وسب فيه مجتهدا وأنه شهر قرآن تسبيح وقرآن كم كنت تعرف ممن صام في سلف من بين أهل وجيران وإخوان أفناهم الموت واستبقاك بعدهم حيا فما أقرب القاسي من الدان فإنه شاء القرآن شاء تسبيح وقرآن. It is a month to recite the Quran, and is a month to glorify Allah Jalla wa Ala, because the Quran was revealed in Ramadan. But Allah, you have some Muslims, they cannot read the Quran. They have turned their back from the Quran. What is the ayah when Allah said to the Prophet that they're gonna turn their back from the Quran? قال رسول يا ربي إن قوم اتخذ هذا القرآن مهجورا اتخذوا هذا القرآن مهجورا. When the Prophet will say, "Oh Allah, my people have abandoned this Quran. Not knowing to recite it, you have abandoned it tilawatan." لا حول ولا قوة ولقد يسرنا القرآن للذكر فهل من مدكر. Allah has made the Quran very easy. Somebody will revert to Islam and practice from the alphabet, recite the Quran very well, memorize the Quran, go and study and become a scholar. And you are born in Islam, you're saying that the Quran is very difficult to recite. اقرأوا القرآن فإنه يأتي يوم القيامة شفاعا لأصحابه شفيعا لأصحابه ما شاء الله. اقرأوا القرآن فإنه يأتي يوم القيامة شفيعا لأصحابه. Recite the Quran, for the Quran will come the day of judgment to intercede for its people. من أراد مؤنسا فالقرآن يكفيه. If you want a companion, the Quran will suffice you. May Allah Jalla wa Ala grant us the ability to recite the Quran. Hudan linnas. The Quran is a guidance for mankind. In Surah Al-Baqarah, he said, Hudan lil muttaqin. He said it is a guidance for the righteous, the pious. For here is Hudan linnas. Inna hadha al-Quran yahdi lillati hiya aqwa. I go Hafiz there, I got another Hafiz. I don't get away with no mistake. Walillahi alhamd. MashaAllah, what a barakah. Back in the day, you have to look for somebody that have memorized the Quran. But Allah, we have more than enough. 3 brothers came a few days ago and they asked, do you need more people that have memorized the Quran? So we have abundance. This is a blessing to this ummah. But I'm going to advise the Huffaz to memorize and understand which one is better. Al-Hifz wal-Fahm. Which one is better? To understand. Al-Fahm. Because the Prophet made dua for Ibn Abbas and he said, Allahumma faqihu fi din wa allimu ta'wil. Allah give him understanding of the religion. And the Prophet said, Man yuridullahu bihi khayran yufaqihu fi din. Whoever Allah wants goodness for, Allah will give him understanding of the religion. So al-fahmu afdalu min al-hifz. But to have both is better than having any one of them. To memorize and understand is better than all of them. Imam Shafi used to say, my knowledge is with me. Even if I go in the market, my knowledge will come with me. So whatever you understand, you memorize. But don't memorize and then you fail to understand. So once you memorize the Quran, the next step is to learn the tafsir of the Quran. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. How can you contemplate the Quran if you don't understand the meaning? So it is better. That's why when the Prophet said, the person that deserves to be the Imam is the one the one that recites the most. It doesn't mean that the one that memorizes the most. You can memorize, but somebody hasn't memorized the Quran, but it's afqa minka. He understands better than you. Because if you memorize, you don't know why you should do sujood sahwi, then you are in trouble. You are in trouble. So we have to learn, we should memorize, and also we should understand. And I'm proud of my young brothers that have memorized the Quran, but let us don't give up to memorize. Regardless of your age. Regardless of your age.
We've seen 50 years of age memorizing Quran, 60, 70. So Quran is for all of us to memorize. But the aql, the intellect of somebody that is young is something like you see, how they call it? When you do something on rock, there's the saying of the Prophet.
It's like a print.
Huh?
It's like carving.
When you carve something, is it carving something like when you do on a rock? Huh?
It's carving.
Yeah, well, carving. When you carve something, when you're young, your memory is very fresh. You can memorize. This is the time for you to memorize the Quran. And also, Allah says, وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِّنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ, a clear proof of guidance and the criterion. What is Furqan? Can anybody tell me what is Furqan? Criterion. What is Furqan? Al-Furqan is something that you farriqu bayna al-haqq wal-batil. Furqan is a criterion. With that, you will be able to distinguish between what is true and what is void. That is called Al-Furqan. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْ. Whoever witnessed the month of Ramadan should fast. This is another evidence that fasting in the holy month of Ramadan is wajib. And the hadith of Ibn Umar radiyallahu anhuma, when the Prophet said, Bunya al-Islamu ala khamsin, shahadati an la ilaha illallah, wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, wa iqami salati wa ita'i zakat, wa sawmi Ramadana, wa is not wa sawmi Ramadani. Why? Ramadan is mamnu'u min as-sabr. So it's majrur bi what? Majrur bil fatha. على في نيابة فتحها لأنه ممنوع من السبب. Isn't it? Okay, mashallah. I can still remember Manahu, mashallah. So, if somebody says Bunya al-Islam, why is not Bunya al-Islam? Bunya al-Islam. Al-Islam na'ibu fa'il. It's na'ibu fa'il, isn't it? Bunya al-Islam. Man bana al-Islam. من بنى الإسلام الفاعل ضمير مستتر تقديره هو لفظ جلال. Allah is the one that built Islam. So Islam is built upon 5 pillars. MashaAllah, I can still remember. I remember when I was in the Mahad, they used to call me Sibawai because Allah was very good in Nahu. It was very difficult for when the doctor has got tired. When we asked about Iraq and he got tired, to get somebody that will Iraq, that is when they will come to me and my friend from Turkey, Abu Bakr. He must be watching. And they will come to us, and we are very strong in Nahu. Until one day, I visit one of my friends. When I started doing my master's, I concentrated in fiqh and usul fiqh. So I went to my friend from Somalia, the Hafiz and very strong, and he advised me, and he said that Muthadi, your strongest subject is now, don't leave it. Always do Mu'aja. And I gave him a deaf ear, and now I'm very poor in Nahu. May Allah Jalla wa Ala grant us the ability to understand our religion. But when you have a strong foundation in something, you should just go and do Mu'aja. Everything will come back. May Allah Jalla wa Ala grant us ikhlas. Ya Rabbal Alameen. So, and also, a man, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, a Bedouin, and he said, Ya Rasulallah, akhbirni, mada faradallahu alayha min as-siyam. Inform me, what Allah has made obligatory upon me regarding fasting. And the Prophet said, Shahr Ramadan. The fasting of Ramadan has been made obligatory upon you. Qala, hal alayya ghayru? Is there any other fasting that I can do other than that? La illa an tatawwa'a shay'an, except if you fast voluntarily. So to fast in the month of Ramadan is obligatory. To fast other fast, well, with the other fasting that we just mentioned about, these are obligatory, but voluntary fast, we all know that it is not obligatory. And وَقَدْ أَجْمَعَتِ الْأُمَّةُ عَلَى وُجُوبِ صِيَامِ رَمَضَانَ. And the Ummah has come to agreement. It's like a consensus between the Ummah that fasting in the month of Ramadan is obligatory. Is obligatory. And he says here, وَأَنَّهُ أَحَدُ أَرْكَانِ الْإِسْلَامِ الَّتِي عُلِمَتْ مِنَ الدِّينِ بِالتَّوْرَةِ. It's one of the pillars of Islam that is necessarily known in the deen. Everybody should know that. Even a lay Muslim should know that fasting in the month of Ramadan is obligatory. And also, فَثَبَتَ بِذَلِكَ فَرْضِيَّةُ الصَّوْمِ بِالْكِتَابِ وَالسُّنَّةِ وَالْإِجْمَاعِ وَأَجْمَعَ الْمُسْلِمُونَ على كفر من أنكره. And he says here, and it is firm, the obligation of fasting is firm with the Quran and the Sunnah and Ijma. Ijma is consensus. It's when certain scholars, they agreed in a particular time regarding a ruling that is Ijma. So we that comes according to differ. Some of the scholars, they said that you can get rid of that ijma because these people have gone beyond. Others said, no, you should follow that ijma. We have Quran, wa Sunnah, wal Ijma, wal Qiyas. These three, the Quran, the Sunnah, and Ijma, all the scholars, they agree that this is what is ahkam, isn't it? And usul. Yeah, it's al-adillatu al-muttafaqun alayha. These are the evidences that are agreed upon. The qiyas, this is some of the scholars, well, some of the sects, they don't accept qiyas, but qiyas is accepted because qiyas, you take it from the Quran and the Sunnah. You understand? You just need the aslu and the file. And qiyas is something that is accepted. May Allah Jalla wa Ala grant us the understanding of our religion. وَأَجْمَعَ الْمُسْلِمُونَ. And the Muslim, they agreed unanimously. Is that the word? Unanimously. That whoever disbelieves in fasting or reject fasting, he has become a disbeliever. If you reject fasting and you say fasting is not obligatory, automatically you have become a disbeliever. If you have the knowledge. You understand? If you have the knowledge. You say fasting is not obligatory. It's one of the things that taking you is one of the nawaqib. The things that nullifies your deen. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us. And he says here, as-siyamu qisman. The fasting is of two types. So wajibun watatawwu'un. He said that fasting that are obligatory and fasting that are voluntary. And he said, وَالْوَاجِبُ يَنْقَسِمُ إِلَى ثَلَاثَةِ أَقْسَامٍ. He said the fasting that are compulsory, they are of three types. Number one, Sawm Ramadan. Number two, Sawm Kafarat, the Sawm of expiation. Wa Sawm Nadri, and the Sawm of oath. We'll talk about this. We don't want to go. And the scholar, they said here, وَكَلَامُ هُنَا يَنْحَسِرُ فِي سُوَرِ أو في صوم رمضان وفي صوم التطوع. أما بقية الأقسام فتأتي في مواضعها إن شاء الله. They will concentrate only in talking about the fasting of Ramadan and the voluntary fasting. All the other fasting, they will come in their own various places. Because in the end, they will talk about all this fasting. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us. And we will conclude with the fadail, the virtues of fasting in the holy month of Ramadan. Here, they only mention one virtue. And they mentioned the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu. He says, Man sama Ramadana imanan wa ihtisaban غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. وَمَنْ قَامَ لَيْلَةَ الْقَدْرِ إِيمَانًا وَاحْتِسَابًا غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِهِ. Whoever fasts in the month of Ramadan with iman, with faith, وَاحْتِسَابًا, and you seek the reward from Allah Jalla wa Ala, your past sins will be forgiven. Al-Muthadi, I forgot his first name, Sheik is a big scholar in Saudi. He said that here it means all the sins, whether it is major or minor. Once you fast in Ramadan with faith and seeking Allah's reward, all your past sins will be forgiven. He said the hadith that says as-salawatul khamsu wal jum'atu ila al-jum'ati wa ramadan ila ramadan mukaffiratun lima bainahunna idha ijtunibatul kaba'ir. He said this hadith la yuqayyad, it will not be restricted because of this other hadith. It's mutlaq. It's mutlaq. What is the meaning of mutlaq in English? When it's not general, it's khas is specific. Mutlaq is absolute. It's absolute. Muqayyad is restricted. So this hadith is not restricted because of this. All your past sins will be forgiven. Have I given you ticket to commit sins and think that when Ramadan comes, your sin is going to be forgiven? Abstain from all sins. May Allah Jalla wa Ala guide us. And also, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he used to say, Ataakum Ramadan, Shawun Mubarakun, فرض الله عز وجل عليكم صيامه تفتح فيه أبواب الجنة وتغلق فيه أبواب الجحيم وتغل فيه مردة الشياطين لله فيه ليلة خير من 1000 شهر من حرم خيرها فقد حرم. When the month of Ramadan used to come, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to give glad tidings to the Sahabas. He said that the month of Ramadan, the blessed month of Ramadan has come to you. A month that Allah has made obligatory to fast. In this month, the gates of Al-Jannah are open. The gates of Al-Jannah are closed. The rebellious shayateen are shackled. And there is a night that is Laylatul Qadr, that is better than 1,000 months. Whoever is deprived that night, he is surely deprived. So if the gate of Al-Jannah is open, the doors of Jahannam is closed, and the shayateens are chained, what is stopping us to enter Al-Jannah? Wallahi, if we don't enter Al-Jannah in Ramadan, we don't have no one to blame but ourselves. إنما هي أعمالكم أحصيها لكم ثم أوفيكم إياها فمن وجد خيرا فليحمد الله ومن وجد غير ذلك فلا يلومن إلا نفسه. If you don't enter Al-Jannah in Ramadan, you don't have to blame anyone but yourself. The problem is, we will take the sin in Ramadan. How can you spend time backbiting, telling lies, watching social media, watching TV in Ramadan, when وَيُنَادِي الْمُنَادِي يَا بَاغِيَ الْخَيْرِ أَقْبِلْ وَيَا بَاغِيَ الشَّرِّ أَقْصِرْ وَلِلَّهِ أُتَقَاءُ مِنَ النَّارِ وَذَلِكَ كُلُّ لَيْلَةٍ. Allah is emancipating people from Jahannam. An angel will call, O seeker of goodness, advance in your seeking, and you are there, Facebook watching haram. You know watching lecture, TikTok watching haram, and the angels is saying, come, advance with your book. Ya Baki Ashar, or you that is watching porno, or you that is backbiting, or you that is watching haram, stop. Why? And Allah is emancipating people from Jahannam. You are there with Facebook. Read the Quran, recite the Quran, beg Allah Seek forgiveness from Allah in Ramadan, because every night people are being emancipated from Jahannam. May Allah Jalla wa Ala grant us Al-Jannah. And in another hadith, the Prophet said, Al-Jannah is open and none of its doors is closed. تفتح فيه أبواب الجنة ولا يغلق منها باب. None of its doors will be closed, and the doors, the gate of Jahannam will be closed. None of its doors will be open. But Ramadan has become a month of feasting. We eat, we drink, and when we come for Taraweeh, we start vomiting. We are tired, we are lazy. I invite you to come and feast so that we can backbite. Ramadan has become a month of nightlife. After Taraweeh, the boys will hang out with the guns. I have seen that. Smoking. The moment they break their fast, they take a cigarette and smoke. And Allah says in the Quran, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا وَلَا تُلْقِي بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى تَهْلُكَ. And Allah Jalla wa Ala says, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُمْ رَحِيمًا. And the Prophet said, رُبَّ صَائِمٍ لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ صِيَامِهِ إِلَّا الْجُوعُ وَالْعَطْشُ وَرُبَّ قَائِمٍ لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ قِيَامِهِ إِلَّا السَّهْرُ. He said, perhaps there is a fasting person. He will have no reward, just punishment. He will suffer from hunger and thirst throughout the day, and he is not rewarded. Do you want to be among those people? The answer is no. And there are certain people that will stand up for prayer, but they don't have no reward, just punishment, sleepless night. And the Prophet said, Man lam yada qawla zuri wa la amala bihi falaysa lillahi hajatun fi an yada'a ta'amahu wa sharaba. If you don't live backbiting, giving false testimony, even when you're fasting, you're not allowed to raise your voice. When somebody abuses you, tell the person that, you know what, brother, I'm fasting. Because he wants to take your Al-Jannah from you. He wants to stop you to enter Al-Jannah. This is a golden opportunity for us to achieve Al-Jannah. That's why our pious predecessors, they used to pray to Allah to allow them to enter the month of Ramadan 6 months in advance. And after 6 months, they will beseech Allah to accept their fasting. So brothers and sisters in Islam, the Prophet said, As-siyamu wal-Qur'anu yashfa'ani lil-'abdi yawm al-qiyamah fayaqulu as-siyam ayya mana'tuhu at-ta'ama wash-shahwat bin-nahar fashaffi'ni fihi wa yaqulu al-Qur'anu mana'tuhu an-nawma bil-layl fashaffi'ni fihi qala fa yushafa'an. Isn't it? And Quran and fasting will intercede on the day of judgment for the people, and the Quran, the fasting will say, oh Allah, I prevented him from eating and drinking, so allow me to intercede for him. And the Quran, meaning the Qiyam al-Layl, the Tarawih, standing in prayer, the Quran will intercede for the people on the day of judgment, and will say, oh Allah, allow me to intercede for him because I stopped him from sleeping. So Allah will allow both to intercede for His people. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, time for questions.
2
We
questions.
still have time. It's 7:30.
Okay, but he's saying the Azan.
That doesn't matter. You can do other.
Okay, the question is coming from me. The question is coming from me, from the book that we just studied. Number 1, what is the meaning of fasting? Lughatan, literally, what is the meaning? Abstain. What is the meaning? What is the Islamic meaning of fasting? Sheikh, not you. Sheikh, not you. Not you. What is the meaning of fasting? Islamically.
So abstain from food and drink
From abstain from eating and drinking,
and the intention.
and don't forget the next one. The next one, having intercourse with your wife and having any other activity like that, with intention from the break of dawn to sunset. What are the two pillars of fasting?
Abstaining and intention.
Abstaining and intention. MashaAllah, the Sheikh asked me if I know how to answer. If I don't know, Allah will ask.
Sorry?
Ask.
No, this is just, you talked about intention. So how we do intention? Is it just
Intend that you are fasting.
or the-
Okay, MashaAllah, very important thing. Intention.
Yes.
So people will come. إني نويت أن أصلي صلاة العصر 4 ركعات. هذا بدعة. That is innovation. النية في القلب. النية محلها في القلب. وتلفظ بها بدعة. The intention should be in your heart to pronounce your intention, except for Hajj and Umrah. So even that is not intention because you are saying labbaik Allahumma umrah or al-hajj. You're saying that to Allah, I'm here to answer to you, and then you call umrah and hajj. So the place for intention is the heart, and to pronounce intention with your mouth is innovation. So intention should be in your heart. You intend that you're fasting the holy month of Ramadan to please Allah Jalla wa Ala as an ibadah. This will suffice you. Okay, no problem. Inshallah.
But that's salam.
Oh, okay. It's
So, sorry, is it just to make a conscious decision, like you're going to do something?
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to make that decision because man lam yubayyit siyama qabla al-fajr fala siyama. You have to make that intention in your heart. The heart is what Allah Jalla wa Ala looks at. Inna Allah la yanzuru ila suwarikum wa la yanzuru ila ajsamikum walakin yanzuru ila qulubikum wa a'malikum. Finally, I think I should ask one question again.
Sheikh, there is 2 times.
Okay.
Sheikh,
Yeah.
there is 2 times الفجر والصبح والفجر. And that is your time, the adhan or adhan 10.
Yeah, that's what we talk about that. We said we got al-fajr kadhib wa fajr sadiq. The live fajr, because the Prophet used to have 2 people that used to do adhan. He said that if you hear the adhan of Bilal, eat and drink. But if you hear the adhan of Abdul, I always forget. Okay, it's the blind. I forgot his name. We mentioned it. I'm not good with name. Then you should stop because it's the fajr sadiq. You should stop eating and drinking.
Because why my country, adhan أول adhan 10.
Yeah, of course, when in Ramadan, I don't know for your country, but my country, the first adhan is to wake you up to eat suhoor. And then the second adhan is for you to stop.
Yeah, of course.
But here we don't have it. So watch your time. Don't eat, don't say, oh, you put the white thread under your pillow and your black thread, you start watching. Oh, it's still black.
No, Sheikh, here
Now,
look inside.
the
Your
time.
phone, your time inside your phone or
Yeah,
inside.
mashallah, mashallah, may Allah Jalla wa Ala. And also, yes, I have
لا طبعا. Time,
what is the question? Anyways, yeah. We mentioned that before. It's a good question. If you have a good memory, do your intention every night before Fajr. Every night. But there is another, power that says you can do one intention for the rest, the whole Ramadan. If there is anything that comes between you and fasting, whether you're sick, whether you're traveling, whether you're a woman, then you have your high. After that thing has gone, you have to renew your intention. But for me, to always think what is easy. Well, I'm not going to say take anything that is easy because people will want to play with the thing. But in this mas'ala, it's good to take this easy part. Just do one intention for the entire month. do one intention for the entire month. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Who is going to do the adhan?